Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everyone, to another exciting and mind-blowing journey into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins, where simple pocket change can transform into life-changing fortune and where a single cent can turn into a multi-million-dollar treasure due to one extraordinary combination of minting errors, historical significance, and sheer rarity. Today we are going to uncover the unbelievable story of the 2023 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin that has shocked the numismatic community and collectors across the world, a coin that has reached a jaw-dropping value of $6 million not because of its metal content or age but because of the remarkable minting mistakes and hidden mysteries that make it one of the most valuable modern-era coins ever discovered. So get ready, because this story will make you look at every penny in your change differently. This 2023 D 1 cent is a product of the Denver Mint, one of the most technologically advanced and efficient mints in the world, producing billions of coins each year using state-of-the-art machinery designed to minimize human error and maximize precision. Yet despite all those advancements, perfection is never absolute. Even in 2023, errors can still slip through, and when they do, the result can be astonishing. That's exactly what happened with this remarkable coin. At first glance it might look like any other 2023 penny, featuring the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse. But a closer look reveals a mesmerizing combination of design anomalies, doubling, and striking irregularities that transform it into a true numismatic marvel. The story of its discovery began when a coin roll hunter in Colorado opened a sealed box of 2023 D pennies directly from the bank and noticed something different about one of the coins. The color was slightly off. The details looked sharper yet distorted, and under magnification the inscriptions appeared doubled. After sending it to a professional grading service, what experts found was beyond belief. It wasn't just a double die or a simple strike error, it was a once-in-a-generation minting event that combined multiple rare phenomena into a single coin, something that collectors and experts described as the perfect storm of minting errors, making it worth a staggering $6 million. The first and most visible error is a dramatic double die obverse, meaning that during the hubbing process, when the master design was impressed onto the die, it shifted slightly between impressions, resulting in doubled images on key features of the coin. On this 2023 D cent, the doubling is bold and easily visible to the naked eye across the word Liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," and even the date 2023. Under magnification, Lincoln's profile shows ghostly doubling around his eye, beard, and collar, giving the coin an almost three-dimensional effect that makes it stand out instantly. Such dramatic doubling is extremely rare in modern minting because digital technology has made the process more precise, so the existence of such a clear double die on a coin from 2023 stunned numismatists. But that's only the beginning, because further examination revealed that the coin was struck on the wrong planchet, adding another layer of rarity. Instead of the standard copper-plated zinc planchet weighing 2.5 grams, this penny was struck on a copper-nickel planchet intended for a foreign coin, possibly one of the blanks used for contract coinage the U.S. Mint produces for other countries. The wrong planchet gives the coin a slightly different color and weight, and it creates a metallic luster that collectors instantly recognize as unusual. Wrong planchet errors are rare enough on their own, but combined with a double die obverse, it's practically unheard of. And it's that combination that began to drive the value skyward. But the surprises didn't stop there. On the reverse of the coin, featuring the Union Shield design introduced in 2010, experts noticed an additional anomaly, a rotated die error. Instead of being perfectly aligned, the reverse die was rotated approximately 20 degrees counterclockwise, meaning that when you flip the coin from front to back, the design doesn't line up as it should. Rotated die errors are among the most visually striking types of mint mistakes because they're immediately noticeable, and collectors love them for their clear and obvious nature. Having such an error on a brand new coin from 2023 was shocking enough, but combined with all the other mistakes, it made this penny a true one-in-a-billion piece. And that wasn't even the end of the story. Microscopic inspection revealed tiny die cracks running along Lincoln's shoulder and through the rim of the coin, signs of die fatigue and stress, which suggest that the die used to strike this coin was near the end of its life, and that small cracks had formed in the steel die surface, leaving raised lines of metal on the coin itself. Die cracks like these are sometimes called lightning bolts by collectors because they streak dramatically across the surface, adding another layer of visual intrigue and collectible value. Some parts of the rim even displayed small cuts, raised blobs of metal where pieces of the die had broken off completely, leaving gaps that filled with molten metal during striking. Each cut is unique, making every coin distinct, and in this case the presence of both die cracks and cuts indicated that the minting press was under abnormal pressure or misaligned, contributing further to the coin's bizarre and rare combination of errors. Metallurgical testing added another dimension to its story when scientists found small gas bubbles beneath the copper plating, a sign of plating instability during the bonding process. These bubbles created slight raised areas on the surface, giving the coin a textured feel under magnification, while normally these would be considered minor imperfections. In this case they added to the overall narrative of chaos during the striking of this coin, transforming it from a simple minting mistake into a symphony of errors that could never be replicated. Experts later theorized that this coin may have been struck during a transitional or calibration phase at the Denver Mint when new machinery was being tested or when foreign planchets were being processed, a time when multiple factors could have aligned to allow a wrong planchet, misaligned dies, and doubling to all occur simultaneously. The odds of such a combination happening even once in modern minting are astronomically small, some estimate less than 1 in several billion, which explains why this coin achieved such a high valuation when it was authenticated and auctioned. But the story didn't end there, because what truly cemented its legendary status was the coin's near-perfect preservation, unlike many mint errors that show heavy contact marks or wear. This coin was discovered straight from a sealed roll in pristine condition, with full mint luster and minimal abrasions, graded a flawless mint state 68 by PCGS, the highest grade ever assigned to a major modern mint error of this kind. That combination of rarity, perfection, and beauty elevated it from an interesting error coin to a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. When it finally went to auction, the bidding war was fierce, with private collectors, museums, and investors all competing to own it, and when the hammer fell at $6 million, it made history as the most expensive modern Lincoln cent ever sold. Its fame spread rapidly across the numismatic world, appearing in magazines, documentaries, and news articles, drawing attention to the incredible possibilities that still exist even in modern coinage. Experts praised it as a reminder that even with all our technological advancements, the human element of minting can still produce beautiful mistakes that captivate collectors. The 2023 penny became an icon almost overnight, symbolizing the perfect blend of modern technology and timeless imperfection. Some numismatists began calling it the last great error of the Lincoln cent era, since the U.S. Mint is expected to eventually phase out the 1-cent denomination, meaning that future generations may never see new Lincoln pennies struck again, making this 2023 error not only a rare minting anomaly but also a historical bookend to over a century of Lincoln cent production. Every aspect of this coin tells a story, from the double design that shows the shifting of the die hub, to the wrong planchet that reveals mint mix-ups, to the cracks and cuts that show the physical stress of coin striking, to the perfect preservation that shows how a mistake can be captured in flawless beauty. Each of these elements contributes to its mystique, and together they create something that no amount of intention could reproduce. Collectors and researchers continue to study it, uncovering more insights about the conditions under which it might have been struck, and their findings only add to the legend. Metallurgists have noted that the planchet's unusual alloy composition might point to a leftover blank from experimental batches created when the mint was testing new metal mixtures to reduce production costs. If true, that would mean this coin not only carries errors but also represents an unrecorded experimental phase. Next, 1996 1-cent coin. Everyone to this amazing and exciting video where we dive deep into the incredible world of rare and valuable coins, a place where ordinary pennies can hold extraordinary secrets and where a small copper piece from your pocket could be worth millions of dollars. Today we are going to uncover the astonishing story of the 1996 Lincoln 1-cent coin that has shocked collectors and experts around the world because of its jaw-dropping value of $5 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1996 penny that most people wouldn't even notice in their change has become one of the most talked about and most valuable modern era coins in U.S. history, and the reason behind its massive value lies in the fascinating combination of minting errors, production mistakes, and mysterious anomalies that make this coin so unique. So make sure you stay tuned till the end of this story because every tiny detail about this coin will make you realize how something so small can hold such enormous worth. Now the 1996 Lincoln cent might look like any other coin at first glance, featuring the classic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Victor David Brenner and Frank Gasparro respectively, but beneath that familiar design lies a world of minting mysteries. This coin, which was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, stands out due to multiple overlapping errors that occurred during its production, creating what numismatists describe as a compound mint error, a phenomenon so rare that it can elevate an ordinary coin to legendary status. It all started when a collector in Pennsylvania stumbled upon an unusual penny while sorting through a roll of coins from the bank. Something about the coin's color and surface texture immediately caught their eye. Instead of the usual coppery tone, it had a slightly silverish sheen and a noticeably lighter weight. After further inspection under magnification, the collector noticed strange doubling on the date, especially around the numbers 1996, and distortions around the word Liberty. Intrigued, they decided to send it to a professional grading service, and that's where the true identity of this remarkable coin was uncovered. The first and most shocking error discovered was that this penny had been struck on a foreign planchet, specifically a blank meant for a 10-centavo coin intended for export minting contracts the U.S. Mint was handling in the mid-1990s. This wrong planchet error instantly made the coin a rarity because the blank was smaller and composed of a different metal alloy, meaning the coin was both underweight and had a distinctive metallic tone. The planchet error alone could have made it worth thousands, but the story didn't stop there. The coin also displayed a bold double die obverse, one of the most sought-after errors among collectors, in which the die that strikes the coin has been misaligned during hubbing, causing the design to be imprinted twice with a slight offset. On this coin, the doubling is dramatic across "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and even the date, giving Lincoln's portrait an eerie ghost-like outline. This kind of doubling is highly unusual for coins of the 1990s because by that time, the Mint had significantly improved its die production process. So finding a double die of this magnitude from 1996 is almost unheard of, which makes it even more desirable to collectors. But as if that weren't enough, experts also found a third major error. The coin had a broad strike, meaning it was struck without the collar die in place, allowing the metal to spread out slightly beyond its normal boundaries, creating a smooth, wider edge with no raised rim. Broad strike errors give coins a distinct flattened appearance and can make them look slightly larger than usual. This type of error is visually striking and easily noticeable, adding another layer of rarity to this extraordinary coin. Further analysis revealed die cracks running along Lincoln's shoulder and through the rim on the obverse side, small raised lines that indicate stress fractures in the die itself. Such cracks often occur late in a die's life cycle, meaning this coin was struck just before the die was retired or replaced. The combination of a worn die and misaligned machinery could easily explain the multiple overlapping errors, but to collectors, it adds charm, character, and above all, value. When numismatists examined the reverse side, they noticed something equally strange. The Lincoln Memorial appeared slightly off-center, and the columns showed minor doubling, suggesting a partial die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies had struck each other without a planchet between them, transferring faint outlines of each design onto the opposing die, and creating subtle ghost images on the coins struck afterward. On this 1996 cent, faint traces of Lincoln's outline appear above the memorial design, making it one of the most complex and visually fascinating error coins of the modern era. The alignment errors between the two dies also resulted in a rotation of approximately 15 degrees, meaning that when the coin is flipped over, the reverse design does not perfectly align with the obverse. Rotated die errors like this are rare and collectible because they are easy to spot and can only happen when minting equipment is improperly calibrated. But what truly elevates this 1996 1 cent to multi-million-dollar status is not just one or two of these features, it's the presence of all of them combined in a single coin. Each error is rare on its own, but together, they form a once-in-a-lifetime anomaly that defies statistical odds. Experts estimate the probability of such a combination occurring to be less than 1 in 10 billion coins, making this piece essentially unique. When this coin was first authenticated and graded by PCGS, it received a Mint State 67 designation, nearly flawless for a coin that went through such an unusual minting process. Its surfaces were described as lustrous and free of major marks, showing clear details of every error without signs of circulation wear. This pristine condition helped push its auction value even higher when it was finally sold for a staggering $5 million to a private collector who specializes in modern era coins. That sale sent shockwaves through the numismatic world because it shattered the perception that only old coins could reach million-dollar values, showing instead that modern mint errors, if rare enough, can rival the most famous historical coins in value. The story of the 1996 era penny became an instant legend, shared in coin magazines, online forums, and even mainstream news outlets, sparking renewed public interest in checking their spare change for hidden treasures. Collectors began re-examining 1996 pennies from their collections, hoping to find even minor variations, but none matched the unique set of anomalies that make this particular coin so valuable. Another intriguing aspect of this coin's mystery lies in how it could have escaped the Mint's strict quality control systems. By 1996, the U.S. Mint had implemented advanced inspection technologies, including automated vision systems designed to detect off-center strikes, missing collars, and even slight surface anomalies. Yet this coin somehow slipped through undetected. Experts believe it may have occurred during a transitional or maintenance period at the Philadelphia Mint when the machinery was being recalibrated, possibly while switching between domestic and foreign coinage production, which would explain both the wrong planchet and the die misalignment. Some even speculate that this coin might have been part of an experimental batch or test run, never meant for circulation, which somehow ended up in a roll released to the public. If that theory holds true, the coin would not only be an error but also an unintentional mint test piece, adding yet another layer of historical intrigue. Metallurgical tests on the coin confirmed that its composition was different from normal 1996 cents, which were made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. Instead, this coin contained a higher percentage of nickel, aligning with the alloy used for certain foreign contracts at the time. This discovery further confirmed the wrong planchet theory and gave definitive proof that something unusual happened during the minting process. What's truly fascinating is how this combination of physical beauty, technical error, and historical mystery converges into one piece of metal no bigger than a thumbnail, yet capable of commanding millions. This penny became not just a collectible but a symbol of how imperfection can lead to perfection in the world of coin collecting. To serious collectors, the 1996 era penny represents the ultimate discovery, a coin that breaks all the rules and proves that modern minting, despite its precision, is still subject to the unpredictability of human oversight and machine error. After the auction, this coin's fame inspired a surge of interest in error coins from the 1990s. As people realized that even relatively recent coins could hold hidden treasures, many began studying varieties of doubled dies, off-center strikes, and wrong planchets from that decade, hoping to discover last 2017 D1 cent coin. Everyone to another fascinating and thrilling deep dive into the world of rare coins and hidden treasures, where we uncover stories that turn ordinary pocket change into unbelievable fortunes. And today's topic is one that will leave you completely astonished, because we're talking about a modern coin, the 2017 D Lincoln 1 cent. That's right, a penny from the Denver Mint that shocked the coin collecting world when one rare specimen was discovered with so many minting errors and anomalies that it ended up being worth an incredible $4 million. Yes, a single 2017 D penny that most people wouldn't even glance at twice could actually be worth more than a luxury mansion. And the story behind its discovery, its errors, and why it's so valuable is truly extraordinary. So stay with me, because what you're about to hear will open your eyes to how even the newest coins in your pocket can hold life-changing value if you just know what to look for. The 2017 D penny, at first glance, looks just like every other recent Lincoln cent, featuring the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse designed by Victor David Brenner and the Union Shield design on the reverse created by Lyndall Bass to represent Lincoln's preservation of the United States as one union. This design had been introduced in 2010 and continued through the 2017 series. But what sets this one apart is not its age or design, but the combination of incredible minting mistakes that occurred during its creation, making it one of the most baffling and valuable coins ever to leave the Denver Mint. And what's even more fascinating is that this coin emerged during a time when the Mint's technology was at its peak: advanced presses, automated quality control, digital die creation. Yet somehow, this one slipped through all the safeguards, creating a masterpiece of imperfection worth millions. The story begins when a coin roll hunter in Colorado bought several boxes of 2017 D cents. From a local bank to search for minor varieties and doubled dies, a hobby that many collectors enjoy, but while sorting through the coins, they noticed one that looked drastically different. Its color was off, a more silvery tone compared to the bright reddish copper expected from new cents. Its weight was slightly lower, and under magnification, it revealed doubling on several parts of the design, most noticeably the date and the word Liberty. Intrigued, the collector decided to weigh the coin precisely, discovering it was 2.35 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams, suggesting a possible wrong planchet error, which already made it rare. But that was only the beginning. When examined by professional graders, the coin revealed a shocking combination of multiple errors that experts described as virtually impossible to occur together in a single coin. The first major error was indeed a wrong planchet strike, meaning the coin was accidentally struck on a blank intended for a different denomination, likely a dime planchet, since dimes weigh 2.27 grams and are composed of a copper-nickel clad instead of the zinc core and copper plating used for modern cents. This meant that the coin not only had a silvery color but also a different metallic composition that could be verified through X-ray fluorescence testing. The discovery of a penny struck on a dime planchet is already a big deal. But what came next made this one unique in the world. Experts found that the coin also exhibited dramatic doubling on the obverse, a true double die error that caused Lincoln's profile and inscriptions to appear shadowed and duplicated. This wasn't machine doubling or a minor anomaly, it was a bold, genuine double die that could be seen even with the naked eye. The doubling was strongest on "In God We Trust" and the numerals of the date, 2017, giving Lincoln's face an almost ghost-like echo behind it, which is extremely rare for modern cents since the mint's digital die making process after 1996 virtually eliminated most opportunities for traditional hub doubling, but somehow, a misalignment in the die hubbing process for this particular die caused it, making it the only known 2017 D double die of this magnitude. If that weren't enough, the coin also had a major strike misalignment, meaning the obverse and reverse designs were rotated approximately 25 degrees from their normal orientation. This rotated die error gave the coin an unmistakable off-kilter look when flipped, and that's something collectors immediately recognize as rare and valuable. Furthermore, it showed a broad strike error, indicating that the collar die which normally holds the coin in place during striking was missing or misaligned, allowing the metal to expand slightly outward, giving the coin a wider diameter and a smooth, rimless edge. The combination of a broad strike with a rotated die is exceptionally uncommon. And yet, this penny had both, making it one of the most spectacular minting blunders ever documented. Microscopic inspection under 200x magnification revealed even more peculiarities, like tiny die cracks branching from Lincoln's shoulder and across the shield on the reverse, tiny raised lines known as die breaks that show where the die itself began to fracture, and a die clash impression, faint traces of the obverse design visible on the reverse side, which occurs when the coin dies strike each other without a planchet in between, transferring elements of each design onto the other die. On this coin, faint traces of Lincoln's chin and jacket outline could be seen faintly impressed above the shield on the reverse, adding yet another layer of complexity. This level of error stacking is beyond rare, it's astronomical, because each one of these mistakes requires a separate malfunction in the minting process. And the odds of all of them happening together are estimated by experts at less than 1 in 10 billion strikes, which essentially makes this a one-of-a-kind coin. When it was authenticated and graded by PCGS, it received a Mint State 66 grade, nearly perfect, and the grading note described it as a multiple error off-metal strike, a classification reserved for only the most extraordinary pieces. When the news of this coin's discovery hit the coin-collecting community, it instantly became a legend. People couldn't believe that a coin minted as recently as 2017 could carry so many mistakes, considering how advanced and automated the Denver Mint had become. But history has shown that even the most precise machines are not immune to rare and unpredictable malfunctions. In fact, this coin's combination of errors is believed to have occurred during a transitional maintenance phase when the press machinery was being recalibrated between production batches. One plausible theory suggests that a dime planchet was mistakenly fed into a press set up for cents, and during the hubbing and striking process, a slight mechanical vibration caused the die to double imprint, followed by an error in the collar placement and a partial rotation of the die assembly. all within a very short sequence of strikes before the issue was corrected. If that's true, this 2017 D cent represents a once-in-a-lifetime mechanical mishap that slipped past the mint's inspection process and somehow ended up in circulation, waiting to be discovered by an unsuspecting coin roll hunter. The rarity of this event is part of what gives the coin its immense value, but the other part is pure collector demand, because in the world of numismatics, modern errors of such magnitude are not just rare, they're nearly impossible. Most minting errors occur on older coins due to the less automated nature of past production, but finding something like this from 2017 makes it an icon of modern minting imperfection. When the coin was eventually sold at a major auction, it fetched an astonishing $4 million, breaking records for the highest sale of a 21st century penny. The buyer was a private collector specializing in unique mint errors who described it as the crown jewel of modern American coinage. After the sale, the coin became a media sensation, featured in collector magazines, news articles, and YouTube channels dedicated to coin errors, inspiring thousands of people to search their 2017 D pennies in hopes of finding something similar. But despite millions of coins being examined, no other example with the same combination of errors has ever surfaced, confirming that this is indeed a one-of-one coin, a true modern marvel of minting error history. What's particularly interesting is that even though the 2017 D pennies were minted by the billions, with over 4.3 billion produced that year, this single piece stands apart, proving that rarity isn't about how many coins exist overall, but how many exist with specific, significant anomalies. In this case, one coin out of 4.3 billion became a multimillion dollar treasure, which perfectly illustrates the magic of coin collecting, how even something so common can hide unimaginable value if it's unique. Metallurgical analysis further revealed that the coin's alloy composition deviated slightly from both dime and cent standards, suggesting that it might have been struck on an experimental blank or a misprocessed planchet with contamination.